Puede que estés usando tus tarjetas de crédito para sobrevivir. No te agobies. Llámanos. Prometemos ayudarte y mostrarte una manera de reducir tus pagos mensuales. Ayudamos exclusivamente a personas que quieren deshacerse de sus deudas de tarjetas de crédito. Reduce tus deudas y haz un simple pago a todos tus acreedores de tarjetas de crédito, pagado por Cero Deudas.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. This is Real Estate Insights. I'm your host, Andrew Glisson. You may not recognize me. I've been on the network before on the TV show called Your Personal Real Estate. This is a brand new show called Real Estate Insights. My team and I are going to curate for you a group of experts that can help you if you're a homeowner buying a home, a first-time home or a new home, or you're a real estate investor trying to get into the real estate investment business or scale your portfolio. We're going to interview people and put people in front of you that will help you succeed. We want to see you be successful, and we're going to have people on this show that can help you in achieving your goals and dreams. We're going to cut to a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to have an interview, and we'll see you guys back very shortly. My name is Andrew Glisson. Over the past 4 years, I've built a portfolio of over 200 single-family rental properties that generate over $200,000 a month in income. I've put together a 6-step formula to help you consistently acquire rental properties that cash flow $250,000 or more a month and have $30,000 or more of equity built into them. This includes starting right, becoming bankable, buying right, renovating right, exit strategies, property management, and many more modules. Best of all, if you're not totally blown away by the content, we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If you're ready to build generational wealth for you and your family, look me up at sfruniversity.com.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
The best bilingual news, business talk, and technology content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are watching Now Media Television, the first bilingual media network in the United States.
Hola, soy Isabela Gómez ayudando a Smokey Bear porque él tiene mucho más que decir que solo...
Solo tú puedes prevenir incendios forestales.
Si estás afuera disfrutando de una barbacoa después de una larga caminata, asegúrate de no tirar tus brasas o cenizas calientes al suelo, porque podría provocar un incendio forestal. Toma en serio la prevención de incendios forestales y salvemos el mundo un día a la vez. Juntos con Smokey Bear podemos hacerlo. Ve a smokeybear.com para obtener más información.
Todos quieren boletos de avión baratos, pero ¿dónde los encuentras? Llamando a Vuelos y Más. Sus precios vienen directamente de las aerolíneas y son tan bajos que no los vas a encontrar publicados en ningún otro sitio. Nos especializamos en garantizarles los boletos de avión más baratos, con descuentos en habitaciones de hotel, alquiler de carros y grandes ofertas en paquetes para cualquier lugar del mundo. No importa su destino, podemos ayudarle.
Gracias, Vuelos y Más.
¿Qué espera? Llame ya.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Your Real Estate Insights. We have Courtney back with us, 360 Painting of West Houston. And I wanted to ask you, on today's show, a little bit about investors. I own a rental property portfolio. We paint insides of homes, we paint outsides of homes all the time. I've got a specific, color that we use on all of our houses on the inside. We change it up on the outside. But for an investment property, is the type of paint that an investor should use for an investment property different from what somebody should use when they're living in their own home?
So, good question. We are a company that stands behind using a paint that is always backed by the manufacturer. So typically that means that you're using, whether it's Sherwin-Williams, Benjamin Moore, Behr, Glidden, PPG, it is using one of their premium line paints because they will put their stamp of approval on it, and should anything malfunction that it shouldn't, that you typically shouldn't see, like peeling or really peeling and cracking, they will come in and also back that product and provide the customer with a repaint if needed. So truthfully, I think that is, you should always invest in a paint regardless of, a sale or you're moving in. You should always invest in a paint that is going to, one, get the job done, and two, last the longest.
Yeah, so a lot of our customers, own rental properties, and from a high quality paint standpoint, is there a certain finish that you should use? Rental properties, right? You have people that move in, and then that resident moves out. You have to turn that property over. They're going to hang things on the wall. They're going to, you're going to have to touch up paint. Is there an easier way to do that paint-wise than another one?
Yeah. So I take your question as kind of two-pronged. One of which is there a difference in painting for a sale versus a buy? And yes, I think that it's important for a paint group to know whether or not this is going to be put on the market, like this home, if we're speaking about residential, if this home is going to be put on the market, or if a new family is moving in. If it's being put on the market and you have white walls, it is important for us to know that, because we can say, hey, if you're going to turn this around, why don't we just go ahead and move forward with the same color on the walls? We'll just give it one single coat so that you have a fresh look to it. If you are a new family or have a new family that will be moving in, I think it's important for us to know, are they going to want to change the colors in each of the rooms? Are we going to want to keep a color theme throughout the house? Those are important questions to ask so that we know whether or not to include a single coat or two coats. Right. 2 coats is always standard in the business. Even if you are shifting from a pure white to white dove, you still want to have 2 coats so that you can have that successful color change. Yeah. And then the second part of your question is, tell me if I'm wrong, but sheen, right? Like, is there a big difference in? And yes, there is a difference. If you are someone that does not like any sheen, what is sheen? It means basically that you have some shimmer to the walls. If you are someone that doesn't like any, you're going to want to go with a flat or a matte. Yeah. If you are someone that likes to have a little bit, you're going to start with an eggshell or a satin finish, which are synonymous based on whichever paint line and paint you are using. And then after satin, it goes semi-gloss, high gloss, etc. But the difference between those two are also important for us to know who's going to be living in the home. Right. Is it adults? Is it kids? Yep. From that point, we can help make that decision with you. Yep. Ultimately, the painting group, us, we want to do and deliver whatever it is that you would like. Yep. But if you are someone that is saying, I don't know what to do, but I've got 3 kids back at home, we're probably going to say, hey, it might be better for you to have a satin finish. Yeah. Especially in certain areas like a playroom or your kids' room. Why? Because you have the ability to take a wet rag and kind of wash off the walls, whether it's food, dirt, colors, whatever
which all
that
happens.
Yeah,
which all happens.
Which it does. I can attest to that at our home. But if not, you may be an adult and just have adults and say, really the only problems that we see with the walls are nicks with furniture. And if that's the case, you may want a flat finish where if you get a nick, you yourself can take a paintbrush, take that paint and coat over it. Yeah. The difference being flat paint, you should not be able to see any of those brush marks. If you were to do that with satin paint, you would see those start to finish lines.
So you have to paint the whole wall.
Correct, from a seam to a seam.
Yep. So colors on the interior can be very different if it's a dark room or a light room. How do you work with clients that have, you know, big houses with lots of different windows? There's not very many windows. They want to paint the interior generally the same color. Like, how do you pull those undertones out for clients and show that?
Great question. I think it becomes, again, it's almost two-part. How much natural light does each room get? Because as you kind of touched on there, you could paint the entire interior the same shade. Call it pure white or Swiss coffee. Those are two very popular white shades that we see
Haven't
often.
heard of Swiss coffee before. I'll have to look that up.
Look into it, Benjamin Moore.
Okay.
But those are two shades that are very neutral and that we see often. Now, you may have a kitchen that has just beautiful natural light. That is going to be, you know, and in the daylight, you're going to have all of that sunshine coming in. The room is going to feel warmer and brighter. Then you may have a den or a man cave. Like, say that there's a man cave and there's no windows. That is naturally going to be a cooler atmosphere where that paint is going to look completely different than it does. So you may want to make some of those slight shifts. And also you may, a big factor is what kind of furniture do you have? What kind of artwork do you have? Do you lean more towards a warmer palette with your decor, or do you lean more towards the cooler palette? You are going to want to choose a color that complements the rest of your home.
So we've got 2 or 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
Colors that complement your home. Do you work with clients to find colors for their home?
We are more than happy to. I do not pride ourselves in being design consultants by any mean, but we have seen a lot of different homes, and we are able to pass along a lot of the popular shades that we are seeing, whether it's tans, beiges, whites. Those tend to be the hardest color choices for homeowners. If we cannot come to a conclusion, if you're still like grappling with what decision I make, which we totally understand, it's an investment. You may want to work with a color consultant. Yeah. We have those that we can help get you in touch with. They can help by just providing you with options, or they can help and taking photos of your home and helping you visualize in real time. Also, oftentimes, many clients do work with interior designers, and they will help with
kind of have it picked out already.
Exactly.
So have you ever, last question, 60 seconds left, have you ever had to just say absolutely not and tell a client, I'm not painting your house that color? No chance?
Okay, so no, you'll never hear me tell you no. And we have seen some crazy colors. An orange that I was, you know, a little anxious about doing, but I have to tell you, it turned out to be absolutely beautiful.
Nice.
No, there are some things, and
Surprised you.
sometimes we will bite our tongue and just say, hey, I don't know if that was the right choice. Yeah. But we're still going to do it. We want to do what you envision and bring that to life.
Love it. Well, you can tell me if I was picking the wrong color. Feel free.
I will.
Just tell
I
me
will.
all day long.
Yeah.
Well, look, Courtney, thanks for joining me today on my first show. I appreciate that, and we will look forward to seeing you next time, and we'll see everybody next time. Also, we're going to cut to a break. Thanks.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure, and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone Low Cost Airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments, Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives. If you're struggling with your own tax nightmare, we've got great news. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now, you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, you can see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline to see if you qualify for a CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm joined now on the show by Jen Green. Jen owns a company called Property House Partners. She's a real estate investor, has been for a long time. But Jen, I want to talk about your coaching program, Great Deals First. But let me give the guests a framework for your company. Great Deals First. You know, real estate investors like me live on leads. We need leads on deals to successfully buy houses. So before we jump into the program and we talk about, you know, how you set it up and what led to that, just tell us briefly, you know, for the guests about your real estate experience leading up to developing this program. What made you aware of a need like this to take a different approach, you know, on the coaching platform, developing leads?
So I think everybody, whether you come into real estate, you know, in one of those big box companies or private coaching or whatever it is, that I think a lot of the coaching programs sell the same thing. It's, you know, make mass outbound calls, text messaging, direct mail, bandit signs, MLS. And while those things do work, don't get me wrong, it's just a lot of output for very low input, right? You have to keep chasing leads all the time. And I was doing the same thing and getting a lot of negative responses, and that just wasn't what our company was about. And so I pivoted and really thought differently about what it means to be in real estate and what we're really doing. And so Great Deals First came out of building value add relationships with the right people to continuously produce inbound deal flow. And that's something that we've been doing for a long time. And I want to share that with other folks so that we can all start investing in a different way.
Well, look, it's super necessary because not only are outbound leads really expensive, you have a very low return on your investment on that kind of stuff, right? And so it takes so much effort, time, and money to cold call and text and all that stuff. So if you're developing a network, then you know you're going to get a better return on your investment. When did you, in your investing journey, at what point, was it years, was it months, when you decided, look, I got to take a different approach to get leads going?
It actually was after my first deal, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, I was very new and green, and you were taught all the things, but I think really putting those things into action is when you're tested. And I sent the wrong purchase agreement. I had all the language wrong. I mean, I thought I knew what I was doing, and my referral partner at the time said, "I'm sorry, Jen, but everything that you did is completely wrong." And I said, "You know what? This is my first deal that I'm doing." I just kind of opened up and laid my cards on the table, and I said, "Will you walk me through this?" Nice. And after the moment, it sort of spurred an idea of saying, gosh, this person was really great and walked me through this deal. What can I do to add value back to this person? And then it just kind of blossomed from there.
So then tell us, in terms of networking and really kind of developing those leads, who are the types of people that you call on that will feed you deals that you're looking for?
Yeah, so I work with a lot of attorneys in many different genres. So, probate, bankruptcy, tax liens, divorce, immigration, criminal, all of those can produce leads in an incoming basis nonstop. And that's really what this has been about. That's really the special sauce of Great Deals First, is learning how to create those value add relationships the instant that you meet with them, whether it's for coffee or Zoom or over the phone, and knowing exactly what it is that these people need so that they keep coming back to you over and over again. And I spend no money on this marketing whatsoever.
That, I mean, that's music to a lot of investors' ears that are watching this right now, because look, getting in and developing, again, your own lead source is very expensive. Take it from me, I know how expensive it is. We generate our own leads, and the cost per lead is really high. Is this program, Jen, is it designed for investors of all experience levels, or is it more suitable for people that are, in specific niches, that have, been in the business for a long time, have a big portfolio? Who's it designed for?
Honestly, I have people from all of those walks of life that you just talked about. I have new investors, I have seasoned investors, other folks that are looking for a different, lead flow. It's really about what you want to make it. This is the majority of, leads that we do. And I mean, we have 4 houses we're working on right now. We have 3 more that we're closing this month.
Wow.
So it generates a lot for us. And just really building out on that base that we have here now, that I have several people who are calling us all the time who aren't even necessarily the attorneys, but they're clients. And I haven't even met with these attorneys before at all, just because our reputation precedes us, because we do what we're going to say every single time and just follow on our pillars of honesty, compassion, and integrity.
Nice.
And it's something that I think has just really kind of bled into where we live. And I use that credibility that we have here for my students, because it's important when they are new that they don't necessarily have the experience, but we're partners. And so, like I said, using kind of that like, know, and trust really helps them get, dive into their community.
So are the folks that, if you're getting, deal flow from attorneys and things like that, I'm assuming that the ultimate seller of these homes is in some sort of a, distressed situation. They inherited this home. There's like you said, a divorce. They really need to get rid of it. So I'm assuming you're getting into the deal flow and the process before any wholesaler's calling them, already, leveraged in a position of trust.
Yes, exactly. And that's a thing so there's usually very low competition, if any, because I'm typically going to be the first person that they call.
Nice.
And so it takes away the competition, it takes away the wholesalers, and usually, it's us showing up at a property and signing the contract right there, because that like, know, and trust is already built, and we don't have to go through the weeds to get to that point.
Do you, from a price perspective, a lot of people, sellers, they think that we're in the market of 2020, 2021. They're still thinking that their house is worth so much more than an investor can pay for it to make any money. How do you walk a seller through, the pricing strategy? Because you've got to make money, ultimately.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, we have to feed our families too. And we're always very clear about that and very transparent about what our numbers are. And it's really kind of getting buy-in with people when you walk through these properties, because, I think unfortunately some TV shows have made everybody think that, it costs $20,000 to redo a whole house.
Yep.
And I think we all know that that's not the case. And so really being upfront about, hey, well, the last time I did a kitchen about this size, it cost me X amount of dollars. Does that sound about right to you? And it's really kind of having them understand like that this is really what it's going to cost. And then by the end of it, you're at $90,000 or $100,000 and you kind of blow them away. They're like, wow, that's really a lot more than I thought it was going to be.
Wow.
And and it's like, yeah, it really is. And so on top of that, we also have realtor fees, and we have closing costs, and we have holding costs, and we have money costs, and we have this and that. And, and we also have to make a profit. And so I think just being transparent about it has been helpful. Do we get every bid? No, not every time. But at least, like I said, they know where we're coming from and can understand how we arrived at the number that we did versus just throwing out a number and hoping for the best.
So back to your program for a minute. Do you walk, your clients through that whole process? How to work with the sellers, how to get the leads, how to work with the sellers, ultimate close that? Is that what the program entails?
Yeah, and I think the biggest part of it is learning how to build that relationship quickly to add value to that referral partner. Because that's the thing. I think a lot of people say, well, yeah, I have some people that I work with, right? But how many times have they come back to you? Has it been a one and done deal? I have some referral partners. We've done 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 deals together because we keep doing the same thing. I promote them to new audiences. I refer their services out. I provide services that they don't even know exist. And that's kind of the piece of it, is being the one-stop shop for them when it comes to real estate, to having them understand that we're more than just, buyers, that we can provide more of that holistic approach for their clients and for their firms, so that they know that we're, like I said, not just, those buyers that are coming to just get a property and then walk away.
Yeah. Is there a number, like the right number of referral sources? I mean, how many can you realistically, work, I guess, in your network?
Sure. I mean, I've probably met with close to 200 people in, our area. And sometimes we get folks that have come to us with one deal because they don't do too many, and others that send us 3 or 4 deals a month. I mean, I think the fact is that if you have an automated system to be able to handle these things that come in, you can't, I mean, there's not really any top number, that you'd have to say no to, because like I said, it's kind of working on its own.
So I guess you're using a customer, relationship management sort of software to manage, those relationships where you're at.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So time and expense. What can somebody reasonably expect that this is going to cost your program? And then what kind of time commitment, do people need that you see that people are successful? How much time are they given this?
So I do a couple different ways. One is that it's an at-home study course where they can start immediately, and it's all pre-recorded lessons that I do, because I also do group coaching. Now there's only one of me, so these classes start, periodically throughout the year. And so sometimes folks have just started on the program right away because they're ready and they can do all the work themselves and then join the group coaching later. I have other folks who want to wait for group coaching, and I also do one-on-one. Now that's very limited for me though, and I don't take very many people in that because I am a full-time investor.
Yeah. But
the thing is that the time commitment, there's 4 sessions of group coaching. And I had one student after 6 weeks get her first lead. And that's so much faster than I feel like a lot of these other programs, because you're learning and understanding. And this is pretty much the quick and dirty of how to get into this. It's very straightforward. You're given all of the information, the timelines, the scripts, the reach out, the special sauce of how to build that relationship. All of it is right there. And like I said, and it's taught by me. And so there's direct contact with me. And then we have a Facebook group. We've got emails. There's a whole bunch of different ways for people to stay in the community and work with each other.
I've got 60 seconds. Jen, give us your website address. I've got 1,000 questions that I want to ask you, so you'll be back on the show. But how can people find you?
So for Great Deals First, it's info.greatdealsfirst.com. And that'll take you to a webinar sign up where you can hear more about the program, and then you can get going right away.
Awesome. Jen, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to head to a commercial break, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Sounds great. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks.
My name is Andrew Glisson. Over the past 4 years, I've built a portfolio of over 200 single-family rental properties that generate over $200,000 a month in income. I've put together a 6-step formula to help you consistently acquire rental properties that cash flow $250,000 or more a month and have $30,000 or more of equity built into them. This includes starting right, becoming bankable, buying right, renovating right, exit strategies, property management, and many more modules. Best of all, if you're not totally blown away by the content, we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If you're ready to build generational wealth for you and your family, look me up at sfruniversity.com.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
The best bilingual news, business talk, and technology content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are watching Now Media Television, the first bilingual media network in the United States.
Hola, soy Isabela Gómez ayudando a Smokey Bear porque él tiene mucho más que decir que solo...
Solo tú puedes prevenir incendios forestales.
Si estás afuera disfrutando de una barbacoa después de una larga caminata, asegúrate de no tirar tus brasas o cenizas calientes al suelo, porque podría provocar un incendio forestal. Toma en serio la prevención de incendios forestales y salvemos el mundo un día a la vez. Juntos con Smokey Bear podemos hacerlo. Ve a smokeybear.com para obtener más información.
Todos quieren boletos de avión baratos, pero ¿dónde los encuentras? Llamando a Vuelos y Más. Sus precios vienen directamente de las aerolíneas y son tan bajos que no los vas a encontrar publicados en ningún otro sitio. Nos especializamos en garantizarles los boletos de avión más baratos, con descuentos en habitaciones de hotel, alquiler de carros y grandes ofertas en paquetes para cualquier lugar del mundo. No importa su destino, podemos ayudarle.
Gracias, Vuelos y Más.
¿Qué espera? ¡Llame ya!
Hi everyone, I'm Clara Capano and I am so excited to announce that my new TV show, Be Productive, is airing now on Now Media. You can catch it online as well as in several local stations in your immediate market. So go to nowmedia.com and catch all the strategies, all the tips you need from industry leaders on Be Productive.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for following along with us in the show. I've got Will Sneed as a guest today. And Will is an owner at Sneed Insurance. And Will handles property insurance, a lot of different types of commercial insurance, but basically investment property insurance. And that's what we want to talk about today. There's a lot that's going on in that world right now. Will, thanks for joining me on the show today.
Yeah, Andrew, thanks for having me. How can I help?
Man, so Will, I want to jump right in. Obviously, for investment property portfolio owners like me, insurance is a huge line item for us. And I mean, we pay, a couple $100,000 a year in insurance premiums. And for us, we filed some claims. We had some claims experience, so we can see, some results of that. But just in the insurance world, a lot of people don't think about insurance premiums when they're buying investment properties, when they're buying buildings, and it's one of the biggest expenses that they have. So talk us through, an investor comes to you, they're buying a building, what are the things to think about, location, geography, how the building's built, is it a home or an office building? What are some of the things that investors need to think about when, insurance needs to be a part of that conversation?
Yeah, no doubt. So I would say to make your property as attractive as possible to more of the standard insurance carriers, the Nationwides, the auto owners, the travelers, they're going to want to see property that is well taken care of, that is updated or new. So, obviously a new property with new HVAC, new roof, new plumbing, sprinklered, et cetera. That's going to be much more attractive than one that's got a 30-year-old roof and, plumbing that hasn't been updated in 40 years. And so I would really focus on, making sure that those updates are there, because to, a first-time buyer, they might not even ask questions about the plumbing or the electrical or the roof. And so I would definitely make sure that there's been some updates, or be prepared to deal with, higher insurance premiums. So also, I would say two other pieces too. If you're going to buy in an area that might be higher in crime score plays a big factor into insurance right now, and so does weather. So insurance in Florida is going to be astronomically higher than insurance in a city like Memphis, Tennessee.
One of the things that, I'm on Twitter all the time reading, real estate Twitter, and all the Florida guys are complaining like crazy about, wind insurance premiums in Florida, wind insurance premiums in Texas. Is there a way, we buy earthquake insurance in certain parts of the country, including Memphis. Do mortgage companies make investors buy those kind of catastrophic coverages, earthquake, wind insurance for hurricanes, that kind of stuff, or is it whatever you want to do basically?
That's a great question. Yes, and that's the mortgage lender wants to be made whole if that building blows down. And so that's, in a hurricane, right? And so that's the way that they can ensure that they're going to be paid out on their investment. and that's why they require it. So yes, that's usually what the buyers are up against, is the mortgage requiring that insurance to be in place.
And so, for an investment property, we have properties that an insurance carrier is going to say it's going to cost you $200,000 to rebuild this house if you have a fire. Well, I know for a fact that I can get that house rebuilt for 120 grand. So, how do you kind of communicate to insurance carriers that they want you to insure for 200 grand, you can do it for 120? How do you get to a happy medium there, in some of those negotiations?
Yeah. So when it comes to covering property, you've got two options. You can either cover it at replacement cost, which is what they're going to go out there and they're going to inspect it, and they're going to say, hey, we believe it costs $200 a square foot to rebuild this structure, and that's what they're going to require. That's the limit that they're going to require you to cover that building at. You might be able to come back to them if you have a buyer, let's say, that has those resources. Let's say they've got a construction company on the side, right? And they feel like they can rebuild it at $120 a square foot. Well, maybe that buyer might be okay with actual cash value instead of that replacement cost coverage. And actual cash value is different than replacement cost in that it factors in depreciation. So it really kind of depends on the buyer and their ability to rebuild that structure. We always, as insurance agents, recommend replacement costs, because at the end of the day, when something happens to that building, we want to be able to show up and say, hey, look, this building is going to be replaced at the same quality that it was before this catastrophic event. We want to be able to show up and have that conversation. But if you have a really educated buyer that feels like they can, source that reconstruction themselves, then they might be comfortable with an actual cash value policy that might not pay out as much.
One of the things that we did a few years ago was we had all these policies all over the place with, one carrier, but we had a policy that renewed. I mean, we were doing a renewal like once a week, and it was just an absolute disaster. So we consolidated everybody onto one program. At what point do you recommend somebody with an investment property portfolio, they move from, all those crazy effective dates, it's renewing all over the place, to one, kind of master policy that renews one time during the year? What's the size where you can really have some buying power in that decision?
Yeah, I've never been asked that exact question before, but to me, the rule of thumb, I'm kind of going with 5 or 5 plus homes. We have a lot of carriers that after 5 will allow you to put it all on one policy together. And so, I've never done research on that particular question, but I would say 5 plus. It's probably worth having a conversation with your agent to see if there's a way to more strategically, package that.
That makes sense. And I guess it's from an investor perspective, like how many can you deal with before it gets completely out of control personally, right?
Having a bunch of separate renewals is not the way to go. So, you want to spend your time on investing and not paying bills. So I completely agree with that. And I think that's a process that definitely needs to be streamlined once you're at 5 plus properties, and hopefully your agent can help you with it.
What do you suggest, Will, in terms of, since insurance premiums have gone, I mean, everything's gone up, right? Costs are just ballooning all across the board. Insurance, different from that. Our renewal's up. What are some things that investors can do to, mitigate the cost of insurance premiums going up? And is there anything that you can do to get a break on rate?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I would say this. Right now, we're in an incredibly hard insurance market. I've talked to guys that have been in this industry for 40 years, and all of them have agreed that this is the hardest market we've ever been in. It's because the weather patterns that we're seeing right now. The loss ratios are off the charts. And so really what we're recommending at this point is go with the higher deductible. Instead of having that $1,000 deductible, get up there and have a $10,000 deductible. Take that break in premium and handle some of those smaller claims yourself. I know it seems like you're not really utilizing insurance to your best interest when you're coming out of pocket $5,000 or $6,000 for repairs. But look, we're at this point now where if you file a couple of claims under $10,000, you're probably going to be dropped by that carrier anyway. And then it's going to be really hard to replace you with a different carrier who's going to be interested in you, because they see you as someone who is filing small claims. And so we're really at this point now where we're trying to educate the client, not to save the carrier money, but to say, hey, look, you're going to end up paying for this on the back end if you keep filing these small claims. So I would say get that deductible up as much as you're comfortable with. and try to handle some of those smaller claims out of pocket. And hopefully at the end of the day, the premium break will offset some of those out of pocket expenses anyway.
Is there a number, I mean, is there a rule of thumb, like if you pay $100,000 in premiums and you consistently have this amount of money in claims, you're going to get canceled? I mean, is that a fair question at all?
It's a moving target.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. Insurance carriers are getting stricter and stricter and stricter. I mean, I'm trying to move property around right now, and I'll go to these different carriers and they'll say, hey, we're not taking anyone on who's had a loss within the last 3 years. And it's really frustrating for everyone involved, all the way from the agent who's working their butt off trying to move this risk around, all the way to the client who's going, goodness gracious, I filed one small claim and I'm paying XYZ in premiums, so they perceive that they were justified to file that claim. It's a moving target right now, and all that's changing, and that's why this is so new. I'm talking within the last 18 to 24 months, all the guidelines are changing, and so we're learning every single day. But the safest bet is just take a higher deductible, try to cover some of these smaller claims out of pocket, and do whatever you can to mitigate some of these things. If you've got a tree with branches hanging over the house, and you think that branch is going to come down, spend the $600 to get that tree branch removed. Start taking some ownership in the property maintenance, and I think it'll go a long way on the insurance front in the long run.
Will, I got 60 seconds left. Any parting thoughts on anything insurance related?
Man, show grace to your insurance agent right now. It's not a fun. We're having a lot of hard conversations, but as I mentioned, it's a tough market, and try to find an agent that's got a lot of great carriers, that works hard for you, that communicates well, and make sure your stuff's getting remarketed every few years to make sure you're still getting the best rate. That's the agent's responsibility to do that for you. Don't be afraid to ask. If they're not willing to do that, then they don't deserve your business. So, but look, it really is a tough market. Believe them when they say it's hard to replace your insurance right now, and premiums are going up. I mean, 20%. We're seeing 20 to 40%, like it's on most policies right now, and that's hard for customers to really believe and fathom. But that's the truth of the matter right now. So just know that's legitimate, and show some grace to your agent, and just work with them and do your best.
Will, good advice. Thanks for joining me on the show, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
We're going to cut to a commercial break. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you. We'll be back shortly.
Thanks for having me, Andrew.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure, and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone Low Cost Airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives. If you're struggling with your own tax nightmare, we've got great news. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, you can see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline to see if you qualify for a CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Welcome back, everybody. I wanted to take a few minutes to kind of introduce myself to you guys. This is a new show. I'm a new face, a new host for you guys. I'm going to be interviewing a lot of people, a lot of experts in a lot of different fields to help you guys accomplish, your goals and dreams in the real estate business, whether you're moving into a home for the first time, you're a first-time home buyer, or you're selling your existing home, you're buying another one, you're buying vacation properties, you're a real estate investor. I'm going to have people on the show that are going to help you guys achieve those goals and dreams, give you ideas to think about. But I wanted to introduce myself really quickly first. My name's Andrew Glisson. And for 10 years, I was living in Houston working as a senior vice president in business development for a Fortune 200 company. And I was buying investment properties on the side as a hobby. When I bought my first real estate, piece of real estate, it was right out of college in Memphis, Tennessee. And I bought that first house and decided I wanted to move to Houston. I moved from Memphis to Houston and converted that first house of mine into a rental property. Over the next 8 years, I just grew a small rental property portfolio until the opportunity came to really scale my business. And that happened in late 2018, 2019. I scaled that property portfolio to close to 200 units in a few different cities, and a portfolio that was generating close to $200,000 in rental revenue. And that is meaningful change for my family. I was able to quit my W-2 job and focus full-time on investing in real estate. I quit my job actually 2 years ago. And so I've been a full-time real estate investor for 2 years. I was able to provide for my family through the rental property business. I still am. I'm still a full-time investor. I'm working every single day in the business. And part of my goal is to help other ordinary investors that are in their W-2 jobs, or they're working for corporate America and they want a different experience. They want to be an entrepreneur. They want to be out on their own. It's to help you achieve your goals and dreams and be that entrepreneur and buy a rental property portfolio that can provide you some income on the side, or a full-time income that can replace your total W-2. And so I wanted to just take a few minutes to kind of tell you guys my background and in some ways that I'm helping real estate investors right now do that for themselves. So I started a program called SFR University. It stands for Single Family Rental and Single Family Rental University. And it is the most comprehensive guide to rental property investing that's out there. My team has put together a very comprehensive list of modules that we basically work our clients through, and the people that participate in the course to jump in and learn everything from basically starting right, how to really kind of build a business, the foundations of which you can scale. We talk about buying right, how to identify good properties, how to really kind of dig into those properties to make sure that you can actually make money on them. There's a lot of people that are out there. If you look at the MLS and if you talk to a lot of wholesalers, there are a lot of properties that you guys are never going to make money on, and a lot of people are buying those all day long. And so we talk about buying these properties right and actually getting these properties at a good price and doing it the right way. We talk about renovating right. There are a lot of ways that you can lose money when you're renovating properties. I could go off on a soapbox for 100 years about the different ways that I've lost money renovating properties. Contractors that'll walk out with all of your money. You're getting a subpar product that does not function very well and breaks in 30 seconds after somebody gets done with it. So we get into all of those different aspects of the rental property business. And so I fundamentally believe that there are good opportunities out there that you guys can buy that are below market real estate in value. You can do something to these properties to improve the value of those properties, and you cash your money out of that and keep it moving so you can grow a large portfolio. That's what I did. And so that's another module that we have in the course, is becoming bankable. So we can teach you guys how to talk to banks, how to put your personal financial situation together in a way that you can sell to banks. And so I wanted to tell you guys that that is a resource that we have built and we are building for you. You can see on the screen right now, we have done a ton of our own renovations. Over 150 now. So our portfolio is in the hundreds. We've renovated over 150 properties. Not me, I don't renovate my own portfolio, but I hire now a lot of good people to renovate the portfolio for me. So I didn't start out that way. I made tons of mistakes. But we've put this resource together for you guys so you guys can be successful. I wanted to jump into a couple of things in the program to kind of tell you guys how this is just a little bit different in terms of a real estate mentorship program. So you can decide if this is something that you want to join up with us or not. So from a buying right perspective, we have developed a deal calculator, which is a truly institutional grade deal calculator. That it's a cash out refinance deal calculator that you guys can put all of your information in of the deal. You can put the purchase price, your renovation budget, you can model the loan costs, model your operating budget, and it will give you the results of that investment and if you're actually going to make money or not. We've also put into this calculator a cost segregation calculator that will show you depreciation opportunities so you can get the maximum tax benefit for your investment in that piece of real estate, assuming you're a real estate professional. That's the best tax advantage status that you can get with the IRS as the real estate professional. And if you're doing a cost segregation study, then that's going to be super meaningful if you are a real estate professional. So why did we build this calculator? There was not a calculator that was out there in the market that we could find for the regular investor. The institutional investors, Wall Street, large investors use calculators all day long. That's the only way you're going to know if you guys are buying real estate and can be successful in that acquisition. I see far too often that the regular investor gets sold a bad piece of real estate, they get sold on a bad renovation, and then when they get to the end of that and they try to cash their money out and actually make money on that investment, they end up not making money because everybody's made money in the meantime. The wholesaler made their money, the real estate agent made their money, the renovation company made their money, there's nothing left for them. So we created a deal calculator for you so you can model your investment, so you can make smart decisions. I tell people all the time, I used to look at 10 deals to buy one. I look at 100 deals to buy one, 100 single family homes to buy one. You've got to protect your money. You've got to protect it because there's not a lot of great deals out there. So you want to find that one. There's going to be more. I think as we get into this high interest rate environment and we keep on going down the road of high inflation, high interest rates, something's got to give. I tell people all the time, my costs are up. My insurance premiums are up, taxes are up. Everything that I do in the real estate business is more expensive right now. Houses are more expensive. So something's got to give, and it's got to be the price. And so you guys have got to model your portfolios. You guys are watching the screen. This is my portfolio. I have taken these houses that are old and run down, and I've done something to them to renovate them. And so I want you, as we go through this journey together in Real Estate Insights, and you hear from me and you hear from all of my guests, I want you guys to make smart decisions. My deal calculator in my program, SFR University, can help you guys do that. But now is the time, more so than ever. If you wanted to invest in real estate, now is the time to invest in your education. Because while there's not a lot of activity going on from a buying perspective and a renovating perspective, and a lot of people are just kind of holding on until interest rates, come back more favorable for us so we can start buying real estate again, now's the time to invest in your education. I'm telling you, investment properties are going to be, the way to go and a great place to put your money from now into the future. But while there's a little bit of, a slower pace right now, you should invest in your future. And so we are going to have guests on the show that are going to help you guys invest in your future. I am, a real estate investor. I own a ton of property. And so I'm going to be asking questions that, you guys are going to be able to get some nuggets from that and apply that to your business. And so that's what I'm looking forward to doing. I'm hoping to use this platform to really help people accomplish their goals and dreams. I've said that over and over and over again, but I really believe it. I'm passionate about this business. There's a study that came out from MetLife Investment Management recently, and if you watch my social media at all, it's all over all my social media. MetLife Investment Management suggests that in the next few years, institutional investors in Wall Street are going to own 40% of all single-family rental properties. That is a huge transfer of wealth if that happens, and that's one that you should be a part of, and I'm going to help you get there. So I'm going to close it out. I want to thank all of our guests that we've had today. We had Will Snead talking about insurance. We had Courtney talking about painting. We had Jen talking about her mentorship program. I want you guys to look up all these people and follow us on social media. Ask us any questions. I'm always available. You guys can message me right now and I'll message you back. So I look forward to hosting more guests in the future and building this community together with you guys. I'm going to head to commercial and cut off for the day. I'll see you guys next time.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.
My name is Andrew Glisson. Over the past 4 years, I've built a portfolio of over 200 single-family rental properties that generate over $200,000 a month in income. I've put together a 6-step formula to help you consistently acquire rental properties that cash flow $250,000 or more a month and have $30,000 or more of equity built into them. This includes starting right, becoming bankable, buying right, renovating right, exit strategies, property management, and many more modules. Best of all, if you're not totally blown away by the content, we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If you're ready to build generational wealth for you and your family, look me up at sfruniversity.com.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
The best bilingual news, business talk, and technology content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are watching Now Media Television, the first bilingual media network in the United States.
Hola, soy Isabela Gómez ayudando a Smokey Bear porque él tiene mucho más que decir que solo...
Solo tú puedes prevenir incendios forestales.
Si estás afuera disfrutando de una barbacoa después de una larga caminata, asegúrate de no tirar tus brasas o cenizas calientes al suelo, porque podría provocar un incendio forestal. Toma en serio la prevención de incendios forestales y salvemos el mundo un día a la vez. Juntos con Smokey Bear podemos hacerlo. Ve a smokeybear.com para obtener más información.
Todos quieren boletos de avión baratos, pero ¿dónde los encuentras? Llamando a Vuelos y Más. Sus precios vienen directamente de las aerolíneas y son tan bajos que no los vas a encontrar publicados en ningún otro sitio. Nos especializamos en garantizarles los boletos de avión más baratos, con descuentos en habitaciones de hotel, alquiler de carros y grandes ofertas en paquetes para cualquier lugar del mundo. No importa su destino, podemos ayudarle.
Gracias, Vuelos y Más.
¿Qué espera? Llame ya.
My name is Andrew Glisson. Over the past 4 years, I've built a portfolio of over 200 single-family rental properties that generate over $200,000 a month in income. I've put together a 6-step formula to help you consistently acquire rental properties that cash flow $250,000 or more a month and have $30,000 or more of equity built into them. This includes starting right, becoming bankable, buying right, renovating right, exit strategies, property management, and many more modules. Best of all, if you're not totally blown away by the content, we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If you're ready to build generational wealth for you and your family, look me up at sfruniversity.com.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
The best bilingual news, business talk, and technology content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are watching Now Media Television, the first bilingual media network in the United States.
Hola, soy Isabela Gómez ayudando a Smokey Bear porque él tiene mucho más que decir que solo...
Solo tú puedes prevenir incendios forestales.
Si estás afuera disfrutando de una barbacoa después de una larga caminata, asegúrate de no tirar tus brasas o cenizas calientes al suelo, porque podría provocar un incendio forestal. Toma en serio la prevención de incendios forestales y salvemos el mundo un día a la vez. Juntos con Smokey Bear podemos hacerlo. Ve a smokeybear.com para obtener más información.
Todos quieren boletos de avión baratos, pero ¿dónde los encuentras? Llamando a Vuelos y Más. Sus precios vienen directamente de las aerolíneas y son tan bajos que no los...
Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.